A warning before you listen.
What you are about to hear is not meant for children, nor for the faint of heart. This is an unfiltered retelling of ancient myths, told as they were born, raw, violent, unsoftened. Expect scenes of brutality, curses that linger, betrayals that reshape fate, and a hunger for power that shows no mercy. These myths were never meant to lull children to sleep. They were forged in blood, shadow, and fire. So ask yourself, are you ready to hear them as they were first told? Sources and references can be found in the episode description.
Chapter 3: The Unforgivable Crime. When the Earth Became the Enemy. From the epic, The Age of Silence. Between Tyranny and Thunder. Years had passed, but not inside Cronus. Time did not flow through him. It congealed, it curdled, it rotted, as though time itself refused to waste another second on a king who had tainted the very first heartbeat. He sat on his throne, but nothing around him bowed. The sky still covered its ears. The mountains bent, not out of reverence but disgust. Even birds avoided the palace walls, as if unwilling to carry his voice on their wings. Was he king? Yes. Was he lord? Perhaps. But he was also the first to murder the future with his teeth. There was a pit in his heart, not one of fire, not of sorrow, but of a crime he could not even name. Your children, where did they go? Did you truly swallow them? Are they still moving inside you? Could one of them crawl up your throat on a moonless night? No one dared ask, but the walls did. The silence did. His body did. And the answers always came back as nightmares. He would hear a laugh, then a gasp, then a soft, hollow knock, like tiny fists tapping on the inside of his belly. Once, he woke in panic, clutched his throat and whispered, "Have they grown inside me? Is one of them crawling between my ribs? Was I a passageway for a life I failed to kill completely?" The earth rejected him, Gaia, his mother, the one who birthed him, the one who had blessed the sickle that severed the sky, now refused to recognize his face. Whenever he summoned her in the sacred night rites, she remained silent. When he called her name, the grass withered. When he wept to her, the mud rose, not to birth life, but to drown his voice. He didn't kill them with a blade, they said. He didn't cut them down. He swallowed them. Even beasts don't do that. Even the children of shadow don't devour their own. But he did. And he did it knowingly. He did it while hearing the prophecy, while seeing in each child his final seat of power. Within his palace, winter no longer needed wind. The cold came from him. The halls had become tombs. The pillars stood like headstones for the unburied. And his brothers? They did not confront him. They did not rebel. But they no longer met his eyes. Hyperion stood at a distance. Not out of fear, but shame. Oceanus excused himself from the rituals, not out of disloyalty, but discomfort. Creus spoke more with the soil than with his own king. Coeus said nothing, only sighed. They had not betrayed him, but they had stopped remembering that he once saved them when he cut down their father, Uranus. In their hearts, something had broken, and in war, they might fight beside him, but never for him, because everyone in that palace knew, when the sky fell, we stood with him, but when he devoured his children, we stopped seeing him. The sickle, the same one that tore heaven open, still hung in the forbidden hall. It gleamed as if remembering everything. All passed beneath it. None dared look up, as though they waited for it to fall and do to them what it had done before. And in those final nights, when he no longer slept, no longer breathed, Cronus would whisper to himself, not like a king, but like a corpse still shivering, If I were truly a god, I would not fear my unborn child. This chapter of the epic has come to an end, but remember, what you've just heard is not a record of facts, but the echo of a myth, a story born from the imagination of the ancients, etched into the long memory of humankind. If this tale stirred something in you, if it opened a door to reflection or wonder, don't forget to support the channel and share the journey with those you love. And in the comments, tell us which moment in this chapter struck you the most and why. We'll meet again in the next chapter of this audio odyssey through time. Until then, farewell.